Hello and welcome to another episode of the Acid Trash Jamboree, the home of weird music and films. Now, I've long been a fan of horror films, or just films in general, that look and feel like dreams, nightmares, or hallucinations. So for this video, I thought I'd touch on a couple that I've rewatched recently, and hopefully as time goes by, this can kind of become a mini-series in itself. Okay, so first up we have Olaf Ittenbach's Black Past, which begins with a flashback to the 70s. A troubled-looking man gazes into a mirror when he suddenly becomes possessed by an unknown force and brutally kills his daughter with a meat cleaver. Fast forward to the present day, and a teenage boy named Tommy and his family have just moved into the house where this grisly murder took place. One day, whilst rummaging in the attic, Tommy finds this mirror, plus an old diary locked inside a trunk. The diary describes the house's disturbing past events, blaming them all on the supposedly cursed mirror. Tommy ignores these dire warnings, though, and hangs the mirror up anyway, which proves to be a big mistake, and bloody demonic carnage ensues. Well, if you want a splatter film with Olaf Ittenbach, you know you're in safe hands. Black Past, his debut film, is simply dripping with very well done blood and guts from beginning to end, putting most of its shot-on-video ilk to shame. Despite the film getting gorier and more delirious as it staggers along, it's not all just a mindless, illogical mutilation fest. Still a semblance of a storyline poking out from all the chaos. Pretty predictable one, but a storyline all the same. So yeah, if this one's passed you by and you want some OTT nightmarish fun, then give it a watch. The acting's about as good as you'd expect from something this underground, and the movie as a whole is a derivative of The Evil Dead, Amityville, The Boogeyman, and whatever else, but most definitely delivers on the trash front, and sometimes that's all you need. In Demon Wind, a young fella named Corey is determined to learn more about his family's dark past. So, along with his girlfriend and several of the couple's friends, they all head out into the eerie and desolate rural part of America that his occult-obsessed grandparents inhabited several decades earlier. More specifically, the burnt-out shell of their old farmhouse, where they both lost their lives. Upon the youngsters' arrival, the house mysteriously regenerates, appearing as it did back in Corey's grandparents' time. Understandably freaked out, they all decide to get the hell out of there, only to find that they've crossed over into another realm, populated by deadly demons. The farmhouse grants them protection from these entities, but it'll only keep them at bay for so long. In truth, this is one of those spot the rip-off type of movies. Demons, Night of the Demons, Night of the Living Dead, City of the Living Dead, The Evil Dead, The Beyond, Hellraiser. Bits of all of these get chucked into the pot at some point over the course of Demon Wind's running time. But whilst it's hardly original, it's not a bad watch, delivering that kind of wonderful liminal space or nightmarish atmosphere that I crave. Despite being made around 1989 or 1990, thankfully there aren't too many attempts at goofy humour in this one, which is a problem that plagued a lot of horror films from this era, though you may find yourself laughing at the wooden acting all the same. It takes a little while to kick off properly, initially concerning itself with building up an ominous vibe before letting rip with the monsters and gore. But overall, it's not too boring. There's a decent body count if that kind of thing is important to you. So yeah, cheesy stuff, but worth a go. As I said, hallucinatory horror highlights will most likely become a little series in itself. So if that sounds your thing, then please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again on the next instalment of the Acid Trash Jamboree.